Careful, he'll still bite. He's a snapper.
Look how long his tail is.
Yeah.
He's a dinosaur.
Bye, Ralph. Tonight, we're making Colby Jack Chicken. This is the recipe that we normally call Monterey chicken, but I don't have any Monterey Jack cheese. I have Colby Jack, so let's call it Colby chicken. So we're just gonna trim this chicken up real quick, and we're gonna cook it in the skillet first, just for about 3 or 4 minutes per side. Then we're gonna transfer it to a 9x13 casserole dish. If you're not making as much chicken though, you can just leave it in the skillet. Like if it'll all fit in the skillet, just leave it in there and you can just put the skillet in the oven. For seasoning, we're just going to do salt and pepper. Oh, it might help if I take the top off of the pepper. Okay, we've got the chicken in the casserole dish now. I'm just gonna put it in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes. While it's in there, we're gonna shred up the Colby Jack cheese. I'll just go ahead and do a 7-minute timer. I've got the oven at 375 too, by the way. I can't remember if I said that. Let me grab a plate real quick, or a bowl. This bowl will be better. Will it fit under there? Oh yes, perfect. I'm gonna put some bacon in the air fryer real quick too. You can go ahead and cook the bacon and put it in while the chicken cooks with the barbecue sauce and cheese, but I'm just gonna cook the bacon in the air fryer and we'll sprinkle it on at the end because I almost started earlier and I was like, I'll start it in a minute, and then that minute turned into minutes. So we're just gonna let the bacon be cooking while the chicken is cooking with the barbecue sauce and cheese on it. Okay. Now, I think that'll be enough bacon because we just crumble it over the top a little bit. Put the rest of this back in here. I meant to show y'all this the other day and I forgot. When we went to Dahlonega the other day, y'all know we went to the general store and I was showing y'all all the Bear Wallow cookbooks. I picked this one, Old Homestead Recipes. And I kind of picked it quick. I'm wishing now I would have gotten a different one, but it's okay. There are some pretty neat recipes in here. I really like this beginning part where it's talking about what original homesteaders, you know, in early America used for cooking and how, you know, they made do with whatever they had wherever they were at that time. So there's a salad, slaws, and greens section. We got dandelion salad, warm potato salad, a good boiled dressing, string bean salad, beet salad, wild greens summer salad, got Johnny cake, shortening bread, California biscuit, 1/2 cup sugar, 2 cups milk, 2 eggs, piece of butter size of an egg, 1 quart flour, 1 teaspoon soda, 2 teaspoons cream of tartar. We should try to make those biscuits. There was something in here that I saw. First of all, this pumpkin bread is what made me grab this one because I was feeling the fall vibes coming soon, and I saw the pumpkin bread, and I was like, okay, I'll get this one. But I think they actually had a fall or pumpkin something cookbook. I should have gotten that one, but anyway. Butterscotch bread, that sounds good. But I saw there's crackling bread, tavern biscuits, old-fashioned buttermilk biscuits. We're gonna make some of these. I saw an old recipe in here that we made a while back. It was a really old recipe that we made. Where is it? How Mother Makes Turkey Hash, right there. Okay, I think it's in the dessert section. Let's see. Yes, Pandowdy. We made Pandowdy I think it was last fall or summer. But did we make apple Pandowdy? What kind did we make? We're gonna make an apple Pandowdy. Never heard of an apple Pandowdy? I'm about to show you. Well, there are several different ways that people do it. I think people in different parts of the country do it differently, or of the world maybe. I've seen different versions of it. I've seen like a pie crust version, a biscuit crust version, a dumpling type version almost. We're gonna do the biscuit one. That's the one we're doing. So in our pot, we're gonna put 1 cup of brown sugar. It's kind of like an apple cobbler. It's called a Pandowdy because they would take it out of the oven before it finished and press the crust down into the filling so that the crust would get, you know, a lot of moisture from the filling inside there and it wouldn't be so tough. With this biscuit version, you don't have to do that though. 1 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, we put in 1 cup of water. Now we're gonna put a teaspoon of lemon juice. Now we're gonna cook this over medium heat until it starts to thicken, and then we're gonna remove it from the heat and just sit it over to the side. Okay, in this bowl we're gonna put 1 cup of all-purpose flour. This is gonna be for the dough. We're still waiting on our brown sugar mixture over here. 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We'll whisk this together, and we're gonna cut in 5 tablespoons of butter. Oh, I need to preheat the oven to 350. We're still waiting on the brown sugar mixture to thicken. Okay, we're getting thick over here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove it from the heat. We've got our butter cut in here. We're gonna put in 3/4 of a cup of milk. Okay, so there's the dough. We're just gonna sit it over to the side. Get out our baking dish. We're gonna spray it with just a little bit of cooking spray. And we'll get the apples ready. We're just gonna peel them and slice them, and I'll put them straight over into the casserole dish. Alright, we got the apples in here. We're gonna sprinkle on a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, inside the brown sugar mixture, we're gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter and a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna go ahead and stir this butter around a little bit and let it start melting so it's still warm. And we'll put in a teaspoon of vanilla. We'll mix that all together. When the butter melts, we're gonna pour this over the apples. It was really good. Very interesting things in here. I'm gonna cut into one of these pieces of chicken and see if I need to let it cook a little bit longer in there before we put the barbecue sauce and cheese on top. I like for it to be pretty much done before we do that part. And the reason you want to cook it on the stovetop first and, you know, sear both sides. Okay, yeah, see, we're pretty much done there. And that was a pretty thick piece. I'll do one more just to check. Oh yeah, we're just about done. I think I'll let it stay in there for just a couple more minutes. Then we'll put the cheese and the barbecue sauce on top. But yeah, the reason you want to sear it on both sides first is because it seals in the juices of the chicken and it won't be dried out when it comes out of the oven. So yeah, we'll let it go for about 2 or 3 more minutes. I'm gonna use this Berman's hot honey barbecue sauce. I've told y'all before, but just in case you missed it, this, I get it from Aldi. It's almost identical to the Kinder's Honey Hot barbecue sauce, which is one of our favorites. But you can use any kind of barbecue sauce you want to use. And this is not really spicy. I know it's called hot honey. A lot of people ask that. It's not super spicy. It's kind of just like a sweet and spicy barbecue sauce to me, but not really as sweet as like a brown sugar, hickory brown sugar barbecue sauce. You know, it's not as sweet as that. It's really good. This says a rich and smoky sauce with the sweetness of honey and a spicy kick. It really, like the Kinder's one and this one, really remind me of like barbecue house barbecue sauce instead of like the Sweet Baby Ray's and all that. How they're really thick. These aren't super thick, and that's how most barbecue places around here anyway, their sauce is not super thick. That's kind of how those are. And the bacon will be done before the chicken gets done in there, and then we'll make some potato wedges. It's one of our favorite sides these days. Flip the bacon. It's a great smell. Now we'll put the cheese on here. And then we'll just slice up some tomatoes. We'll chop up the bacon. It goes back in for about 8 to 10 minutes. There we go. This is so good, y'all. I just made some pinto beans. I had some canned beans, so I just made some pinto beans and some of the Mexican corn and the potato wedges to go with it. It's great.
Yeah, it's okay.